Yeah, let's get into it. Bitcoin has been surprisingly not volatile, I would say, so far. What we've seen in the past when this type of thing happens is Bitcoin sells off a lot more, and it hasn't really done that.
Yeah,
Um,
it sold off like right as it happened. It sold off, but it bounced back pretty much to where it was before the conflict started. So that's where it has remained, and that's the thing that I noticed the most was the fact that it sold off, but then regained where it was. This is, to me, this is kind of notable. I don't know about you, but I would expect this to cause it to kind of break that I would say what 60.5 um, support level, and it hasn't. Um, and notably, when this kind of thing happens on the weekend, which is on purpose, apparently it always happens on the weekend, so it gives traditional markets, a little time to digest what's happening. Bitcoin really does kind of gives you a preview of what market opening on Monday is going to do. And so thus far, it's been rather muted, which is notable. The most interesting thing here is just the role of, I think, 24/7 crypto markets, even putting aside Bitcoin. Now we have futures markets for things like oil and gold and silver, right? Like the perpetuals. And this is kind of, I would say, even more interesting now that we have these 24/7 crypto markets. Traditional financial players, they are also getting a preview of how these these markets that exist in mostly in TradFi will react upon opening. So again, this is just making a stronger and stronger case for um, these kinds of crypto markets. So can I read a quote from Alexander Campbell? He had an article on this phenomena. He was also talking about some of the conflict, the effects on the Strait of Hormuz. Am I saying that correctly?
Sounds right.
All right. So he said this. I just want to quote this. The future is here, and this represents a real use case for alternative financial pipes. We expect this competition is a big part of the reason that traditional exchanges are moving to start 24-hour trading. Specifically, the first thing we did upon hearing the news was to check Hyperliquid for the indicative prices for gold, which showed a surge to $5,500 an ounce before selling off to 5,300, rallying back a bit. And so I imagine every TradFi person did get on their computer, load up Hyperliquid, or what is it, trade.xyz, which has all the commodity stuff, monitor the situation of oil and gold and silver. So there you have it, man.
Yeah, so Hyperliquid acting as a price discovery for commodities like gold, something that we haven't hasn't been possible in the past.
Yeah. And again, really just I heard a lot of back and forths on X over this thing saying it doesn't matter. Hyperliquid's liquidity is tiny compared to the actual markets in TradFi. This is useless and things of that nature. The funny thing is, like, TradFi people were coming on and saying things like, "No, you're not being very smart here. Yes, the liquidity is bad, but you're crazy if you think that TradFi people are not using any information, any edge they can to figure out what they're going to do on Monday." And these are TradFi people saying, like, they definitely are. There's no doubt, because if you can get an edge, no matter how noisy or low signal that is, you're going to use it. And so it was funny because a lot of the haters were crypto people saying, "Oh, this is stupid, doesn't matter. TradFi is going to eventually have 24-hour markets. They don't pay attention to this kind of kiddie stuff." And then some of these more TradFi people were like, "No, no, no. They're using it. Trust me, they are." So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah. By the way, the Strait of Hormuz, right? That's where around 20% of the world's oil shipments go through, uh, is pretty much shut down at this point. There have been reports of at least one tanker being targeted. I think we have it in here somewhere. I saw images of a burning tanker. What was it? The Skylight?
Yeah, I heard that
So,
it's closed, right? Like I don't know what that means in actuality, but apparently the strait is closed. So
yeah. And Maersk is now suspending all shipments through the Strait of Hormuz. The price of oil spiked to from $65 to $75 in futures trading. Currently, it's at just under $70. So you can see there's a spike up to 75. It's come off as of now, but markets in the US not yet open. Everyone's waiting with bated breath to see what will happen when the markets open on Monday.
yeah, I on some of I've seen some clips from traditional media, and apparently some of these like big I forgot what is it reinsurance, whatever, these giant super insurance conglomerates that insure these super tankers and whatnot. Apparently they've just suddenly spiked how much it costs to insure these things, and apparently they've pulled some contracts on existing tankers, which is hilarious. Can you imagine that? You buy insurance and then the insurer is like, you know what? I'm taking that insurance back. No, we're not going to insure you. So already starting to have kind of these second order effects. And if insurance companies or these reinsurance companies are kind of increasing their rates dramatically, or just not giving insurance for the time being, that will also cause like buildup, right? Because that'll take time for it to kind of renormalize. And I don't think these ships can sail without adequate insurance. So yeah, already effects of that nature too.